Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mom.
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yep, thank you for joining with us again.
You know we always love doing this. And Mom, how is your week going thus far?
Brandon, my week is going fine. We hear it's supposed to snow again. I know you guys heard this before, but that's what we hear. And we're in an area that doesn't necessarily get a lot of snow, so we'll see what happens this weekend.
We'll see if there's any snow at all.
Yeah, we'll see. And Brandon, are you ready to talk about another first episode?
Yes, Mom, I sure am. Which one is this?
All right, this show is called Alex Inc.
Yes, and this is the first episode of the series and is titled The Unfair Advantage, released March 28th of 2018.
All right, I'm going to give just a very, very, very brief information about what the show is about and what this first episode is about. This is about a gentleman named Alex who actually is a radio journalist. He decides to quit his job and he starts his own podcast. I actually say podcasting company. And so this is what this show is about.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, Brandon.
And overall, what did you think about this episode?
I mean, I thought it was okay. It was entertaining to watch. It had a point, which was nice. I will say I love you guys know I love shows that have an initiating point, and so yes, gave you a little bit of the backstory. It provided reason for the episode and for the series, and you can see where he's going with it. So that is one thing I did like about the show is that it had an initiating point and you knew where the series was going.
Yes, you definitely did. And for a little bit of background information is we actually watched the show when it first came out.
We did.
Yes, and I remember us enjoying it. But Mom, going back to this essentially almost 8 years later, of as scary as it is to say, how much did you or did you not remember?
Actually, Brandon, I did remember quite a bit of it. So, even he is married with two children, and so even so much as that, I remembered what his kids looked like. So I did remember. I did remember the show. I remember the kids. Like I said, didn't remember all those details, in meaning that the tiny subplots of the show itself. But I did remember the main portions of the TV show. I remember actually, and don't laugh at me, being confused of what a podcast was at that time period. And so now to go back and look at it, it's like, oh, okay. And people were kind of giving him a hard time for what he wanted to do. And now, of course, podcast is something that's just out everywhere.
Yes, and as a podcaster, I fully agree with that. And I will say that, at the time of, when this was originally on, I mean, I suppose I had my show, but I still fully didn't even understand, like, what podcasting, like, really was. And so looking back at it, which this is a show, I will say that we've discussed, potentially discussing in some capacity, and it just happened to be available again.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the audience where you found it at in case they want to watch?
Yeah, so it's currently on the free streaming platform Tubi.
All right. Yeah, you just never know what you'll find on Tubi. So I'm glad that you were able to find it. And how many episodes did this series have?
Mom, what's your prediction how many episodes it lasted?
8.
It lasted 10 episodes, Mom.
All right, 10 episodes. So if you're looking for a short-lived series to watch, sometimes they're kind of fun to watch. I would say take a look at Alex Inc.
Yes, and so this went from March 28th to May 16th of 2018.
All right. And Brandon, was it everything that you remember?
I would say so. Let's say I didn't, going into it before actually hitting play, I couldn't really remember the series. And so I was hoping, to sort of refresh myself. But I will say that what I thought was fun was not remembering, overall, what's going to happen next, but having, wait a minute, is this about to happen? Oh, yep, there it is. And so I thought it was really fun. Similar to what you're saying, I surprisingly remembered more than I thought. In fact, even as going through it, it felt like new but familiar in the sense that I even remembered like where the musical theme sort of fits in. And so, yeah, I definitely enjoyed watching this episode, and I like sort of the message of it. In this case, going to the name of the episode title of the unfair advantage of that, Alex and his family are the unfair advantage, and this is the story of their life.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I like to rate the shows. 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. I gave this one a 3. It's just a pleasant watch. What about you, Bran?
I would say 3.5.
All right, I knew you were going to say that.
But yes, but Mom, I don't necessarily have connections, but I have some interesting behind the scenes information.
All right, what do you have, Brandon?
So the whole TV show is actually based off of a podcast titled Startup.
Oh, okay. And have you heard the podcast?
I have not heard the podcast. I don't believe it's still active, but it was very popular, and truly the show is based off of the concept of that podcast. And so it's interesting, sort of reading a little bit to the details of that and how it got started. And I mean, I think at least from reading that, I think it did a good job of sort of capturing the energy of what that show is trying to offer.
All right, sounds good, Brandon. Were there any other highlights that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so of course the series had 10 episodes, but I believe 4 of the 10 episodes, including this one, the series premiere, were actually directed by the series star Zach Braff that plays Alex.
Oh, that sounds great. Sounds great.
But yeah, but definitely interesting to know. And I will say, I enjoyed about this first episode. I don't fully remember if the series continues with it. I think it does. Is I love good physical comedy, and so I like being able to see pieces of that incorporated. And even though we've only seen a few things with the actor Zach Braff, I do like his work in the few things that we've seen it in.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
Well, Mom, is there anything else that you want to discuss before we end out this discussion?
No, like I said, if you're looking for something fun to watch, Brandon and I always talk about how we look for just things to watch that are just kind of different. This one's kind of different, but yet it's entertaining. You only have to watch 10 episodes. And so I would say go ahead and take a look.
Yes, definitely. We would highly encourage that.
All right. And we thank everybody for watching today.
And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Have a great day, everybody.